Welcome to page 2 of the income and expense declaration. I filled out the case information up here at the top, and the case number seems redundant because it's on page 2, but you need to make sure that you do this so that if the pages get separated, they can be associated with the correct case. This page is going to go over what our monthly income is and our various wage deductions from our paychecks. So here I've got a pay stub with pay period ending 7/12/19, and I've got the first pay stub of the year. This pay period begins 12/29/18. I'm not going to be able to do a 12-month average, which is what Section 5 asks me to do. So I'm going to make a note that this isn't a 12-month average. It's an average for a shorter time period. I can figure out what that time period is by going to timeanddate.com, and I can calculate the duration between two dates. So I'm going to plug in the start date of the pay period, which is 12/28/2018. Please stop doing that. That's noisy. And then I'm going to plug in the end date for the pay period on the end of the pay period on the most recent pay stub that I have, which in this case is 7/12/19. Now, for one of my clients, if this is what they brought me in March of 2020, I would say go back to HR and get a printout of your last 12 months worth of pay stubs. But that's not the situation I'm faced with right now. And after I plug these dates into the date calculator, I can see that this covers a time period of roughly 6.5 months. So I'm going to write here that the average is for 6 months and 2 weeks. It's not quite 6.5 months. It's also 28 weeks. This is going to help me do some calculations a little bit later. Whoop. Sorry about that. Okay, so I don't know exactly how much was made in the last month because I only have one pay stub. So that's why we want 2 months worth of pay stubs. But I can figure the average monthly income, and I can do that by taking the year-to-date amount of 33,362.5, and I can divide it by 28 weeks. So that gives me a weekly total of just shy of $1,200 a week. Now, there are two ways that once you have the weekly total, you can calculate a monthly total. You can either do it weekly total times 52 weeks in the year divided by 12 for your monthly total, or you can do your weekly total times 4.33. You'll end up being a few bucks different depending on the way you do it, but it'll be close enough. We're going to do times 4.33. And so that gives us a monthly average of $5,159.27. I really would like to know what the last month's pay is, but in this scenario, I don't have that information. Do the best you can. There's no overtime, so I'm going to put 0. No commission or bonuses, so I'm going to put 0. I'm putting 0 in all of this so that people don't think that I forgot to fill something out. No public assistance, no spousal support, no partner support. So partner support would be for a domestic partnership. Let's see, not receiving any income from pension or retirement, not receiving any income from Social Security retirement, not receiving any disability from either Social Security or state disability or private insurance. Definitely employed, so not receiving any not receiving any unemployment compensation, not receiving any work comp, and not receiving any other income. There are situations where people are receiving other income. I often see military allowances, royalty payments, VA benefits. Those are some of the common ones that I see. Now, in this video, I'm not going to discuss what happens when somebody has income from self-employment. That is a whole nother video. Okay, most people don't have investment income, and that's what Section 6 is about, but be aware, some people may, and if you do, you need to fill it out. But in this scenario, I don't have dividends or interest income. I don't have rental property income. If I did have any of these sources of income, I would fill it out. I don't have trust income, and I don't have any other income. Okay. Section 7 is for self-employment income after business expenses. I do have self-employment income, so if I were really filling this out for myself, I would fill out this section. But I'm not filling it out really for myself, and I'm trying to do a simple version. Now, just a brief, if you do have business income from self-employment, you do need to fill this out. And so I'll go through this section real quick. I am and you need to check what applies. Owner, sole proprietor, business partner, other, and then specify. Number of years in this business, you'd write that there. Name of the business, you'd write that there, and then type of business. And then you need to attach a profit and loss statement for the last 2 years or a Schedule C from your last federal tax return. Black out your Social Security number, and if you have more than one business, you've got to provide this information for each of your businesses. In this scenario, this isn't applicable, so we're going to put zeros there. Section 8 is for you to list additional income. And this says, I received one-time money, lottery winnings, inheritance, etc. in the last 12 months. So if you received some one-time money in the last 12 months, you'll want to put that there and check the box. Change in income. My financial situation has changed significantly over the last 12 months because at the beginning, I said that in this scenario, Jessica is now working 8 hours a week instead of between 13 and a half and almost 18. So I would put my hours have been reduced to 8 per week. And if you need to supply more information, you can. And then I'd put the as of date. Boop. Got a little messy there. Okay, now we go down to Section 10, deductions. And these are going to usually be things that you find on your pay stub. There are no union dues in this scenario, so I'm going to put 0. Required retirement payments, none of those. Now, this isn't Social Security, FICA, 401k, or IRA. This is things like a pension, usually. Medical, hospital, dental, and other health insurance premiums. So we can see here that a lot of money is paid for health insurance. She pays $605. In this situation, I pay $605 twice a month. So the pay periods are every 2 weeks, which is different than twice a month. But in the situation, money for health insurance only comes out twice a month. So in the few months that there's a third pay stub, nothing's taken out for health insurance. Now, when you try to explain that to the Department of Child Support Services, they might say, prove it. And that's where 12 months worth of pay stubs is going to be handy. The court might say, prove it too. But if the court believes you, they might just take you at your word. But you need to assume that you have to prove everything. So in this situation, we're going to take me at my word. Now, the health insurance is $605 a month. Or I'm sorry, $605 2 times a month. So we punch that in times 2. It's $1,210 a month. So we're going to fill that in here, section 10C. Child support I pay for children from another relationship, none. Spousal support I pay by court order from a different marriage, nope. And it used to be that spousal support was tax deductible, but that recently changed. So some spousal support orders are tax deductible, some are not. It depends on when the order was made. If it's tax deductible, that box needs to be checked. Partner spousal support I pay from a different relationship, none. Necessary job-related expenses not reimbursed by my employer. Attach explanation labeled question 10G. In this scenario, I have none. Where I frequently see something here is with mechanics. I see a lot of tools and work boots and work clothes that get listed in this section. Now, if I had business income from self-employment, I wouldn't attach anything here. All of that would go into my profit and loss. So what I usually see here is people who are employees, but they have to buy their tools or special work boots or special work clothes. Okay, section 11, assets. Section 11A wants to know cash and checking accounts, savings, credit union, money market, other deposit accounts. A lot of people have, on average, not a whole lot of money in these accounts, and how much is in the account on any particular day really depends on when they got paid. So, you know, if people normally have a minimum of, say, $1,000 in the account, then I'd put that, and I'd make a note that this is the usual minimum. A lot of people will write something like nominal or in and out. Stocks, bonds, other assets I could easily sell. None. All property, real and personal, estimate the fair market value minus the debt you owe. So this is where you would list the fair market value of your house or your property. That would be minus the debt. So that would be net fair market, and then estimate the value of all of your personal property. So let's say that I have $20,000 of equity in my property and house, and all of my personal property is worth about $5,000. I'd write that there. Okay, that is page 2 of the income and expense declaration, and you probably just saw my cat run by underneath the camera. Stick around, we will do page 3 of the income and expense declaration.